question is, would you trade places with a black person?
I live in Kansas. I grew up in Kansas, and my honest answer is probably no.
Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you my lovelies are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you very well. Excuse my lighting today because power decided to do me dirty, but hey, regardless, we are here to do what we do best. To you that continuously give support to me on here, that really means a lot to me. So thank you so very much for your support. We do have an interesting episode. A black sister here posed an important question to the palm-colored people that say they don't see color, to say they have the same struggles as the melanated people. And she's like, this is my question to all of you, my palm-colored followers. Would you trade your places for a melanated person? And she was very specific. She said repost, stitch, duet, comment. And oh my goodness, when I landed on this video, I was like, whew, this must be so good. I am so curious to see what the people that say they don't see color, we are all humans at the end of the day. I am not racist. I'm not that. I can never be that. I am married to a black man. I'm not of that, right? So it really got juicy. We got one person that was courageous enough to do a stitch. But with all of this, I think I will read comments to give you a picture as well, specifically for the sisters video, because it has a lot of comments on there. So we'll read a few to give you a picture of what these people think. But let's watch this and the stitch, and then we'll come back and address the comments. And if you're learning on this channel for your very first time, please consider subscribing, leave a like and a comment.
Hi, this message is for my white followers. I have a question for you today on this beautiful Sunday. The question is, would you trade places with a black person? Now, as always, this question is a deep one. I want you to take your time and think about this. Don't rush this answer. And be very honest. This is a safe space for you, but I'm curious and I would like to know, would you trade places with a black person? So as always, you know what to do. Answer in the comments, share, stitch, repost, support. But this question needs to get out there. I would love to know, would white people want to actually trade places with a black person? Hi, this message is for my white followers.
Not gonna lie, part of me forgot that I was gonna do this. So the question is, as a white person, would I change places with a black person? My initial thought was, which one? And then I was like, well, that's stupid. It doesn't really matter. I'm a nobody, and if I were black, I'd still probably be nobody. But I have grown up having at least a couple of friends who are black, but I grew up in this town where there weren't that many black people, honestly. I live in Kansas. I grew up in Kansas, and my honest answer is probably no. But it's not because I view them any different. It's because everyone else does where I live. I have seen the struggles that my friends have had to go through just because of the color of their skin, or because they have a name that's different and not, or different, I should say, and not white. I married a Mexican man, and the amount of flack I got for that from my own family, I know they talk about it behind closed doors more often than they do to my face. The fact that I grew up in a household where one of my best friends in elementary school was black, one was Asian, and my mom had the gall to tell me in middle school, do not date a black boy. Little did she know I already had at that point, but not the fucking point. The fact that she doesn't think she's racist, the fact that she doesn't realize that she's a bigot, the fact that she doesn't realize that she is, oh, so fucking awful to my sister sometimes, who is trans. The fact that she's intolerant of my neurodiversities or my son's. I hate that this is even a problem. It should not matter at all what color your skin is. It just, the older I got, the more I noticed the racism around my community, around the people that I hung out with, even the friends who were black. A lot of them are racist towards black people, and it makes no sense to me. My husband has tried to explain racism to me, and it just doesn't click as to why someone thinks that's okay. And that's probably on the autism, why I can't fathom it. Because we're all just people, and it's never made sense to me. I understand that my parents both individually lived in Alabama at one point in their life, but that doesn't make sense to me why that would matter. I have never made my friends based off of what they look like. I have made friends based off of what their interests are and how they treat me. I grew up with rampant bullying. It didn't matter that I was white. It didn't matter whatsoever in the eyes of a child. But as an adult, I do recognize that I had privileges that other kids did not. I had the privilege to get in trouble and to be told that I can learn from my mistakes. Whereas, I talked to my husband about this. If I had been born black and I had the same neurodiversities that I had, especially if I was in the same town that I grew up in, I would probably have gone to jail, if not juvie. I would have actually been arrested because I, at one point, got into legal trouble in high school for getting in a fight. My parents hired a lawyer, like on retainer, when I was in middle school, or elementary school, because they knew at some point they would need one. Because I didn't make good choices. I was extremely impulsive. I was always bullied. So I would defend myself, and sometimes that didn't work out well. I also would put myself in these situations because I didn't realize that people were taking advantage of me, or that I was with people I should not have been around. Had I been black, I probably would be in jail or have an extensive criminal record that I didn't get because I am a little white girl, or I was. And so I went to court once. If I was a POC, I guarantee it would have been more than once. The amount of time I spent in the principal's office, in ISS, I got OSS a handful of times. I'm sure I would have been kicked out of school just due to the disproportionate reactions to people of color when they do something wrong. I don't think it's right. It's part of why I am going to school to become a teacher, because I never want a kid to feel othered like that. And I think that people don't call kids out on their shitty behavior, on when they're being shitty, because a lot of the time they don't realize it. They don't recognize racism because they don't face it, especially the white kids. They don't see it, they don't get it, they just repeat the same hate their parents have. I had one kid in a class in high school try to explain why Jewish people sucked. The whole class turned on him, including the teacher to a degree. But it was also like a sociology class, and this kid also filled out a form that we all filled out that kind of showed where our political alignment was. And that kid got a Nazi, and we're like, bruh. But, I don't know. I hope this answered your question.
Shout out to the big sister that, came up with this beautiful question because I think it really leads us to a very constructive conversation that probably people do not often have when they keep saying, oh, I am not this, I am not that, I can't be this because I'm married to this, or, I don't see color, and all of this, right? And I think it's a very, very genuine question. If you can answer it genuinely, I think that answers some of the biggest, concerns that Black people be having. That how do you say you don't see this and that? And by the way, shout out to the brave, palm colored lady as well that came through and stitched this, because she was super, super honest. And this is my question to you, palm colored people that are watching this. Would you ever trade your place for a Black person? If you are given, an opportunity to change places and just be like, you know what, you can be a Black person for maybe 1 year. Could you take that? And for you, my people that are watching this, what do you guys think? We are going to go to the comment section and read a few of the comments that she received. Then we get back to my own sentiments. But to the comment section, yes and no. Learning from a first person perspective is the only way to truly understand. However, I also recognize how much more difficult it would be and the privilege I would lose. Honestly. And another person was like, part of me wants to say yes, there's truly no way to understand what people go through when you don't actually experience it at the same time. My knee-jerk emotional reaction to the idea is fear. Fear. Let's note it down. We need to note these things. What are you fearing? What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? Another comment. Temporarily, yes, because I feel like it would give me insight I will otherwise never truly have. Permanently, no, because I would not feel safe. Every answer I came up with boils down to that. Someone has said, this opened up a series of questions in my mind. So the answer is yes or no, depending on the rules. Depending on the rules. What are the rules? And let's see what is down here. And someone say, yes, if it is a groundhog situation, I get to learn with no long consequences. Whew. Okay. No, if it is a temporary switch and the person I switch with would have to live with the consequences of my actions. I am not sure I am strong enough. Not strong enough to take what Black people take in. Let's go. So, during the live tonight, I said I found it hard to imagine trading places with anyone, let alone bringing race into it. But I have sat with it for a bit now, and I think that there are two answers. What are the two answers? Let's look. One, yes, but I would be lying if I said I would be looking forward to it. It wouldn't be like the reality show, Wife Swap, or whatever it was called, where it was almost comical. This would be hard judging. Yes, and she went ahead and said, so lady, on the struggles I have heard people talk about, that being said, I would be super interested to see and feel the experience to help me learn firsthand. And then she's saying, no, for selfish reasons, I suppose. I don't know at this moment in time if I am ready to step fully outside my little bubble. I don't know that I am strong enough. Strong enough is coming back, right? I really need to work on myself before I would be able to step. Maybe like for a day. Maybe like for a day, so I can truly 100% know what goes on. If that makes sense. No, it does not make sense, because one day cannot tell you a person's life experience and the experiences of their ancestors. No, ain't no way one day is gonna do it, right? A lot of us don't understand what others go through because it's something we will never ever go through. We will never. That's very true. In my opinion, the comment section did not disappoint at all, and I do appreciate how genuine and how honesty people were in this comment section. I am hoping that the sister got the answers that she wanted to hear. Either way, whether she got the answers she needed, I feel like this really opens up a big conversation. Some of the things that kept recurring in this comment section is fear. I don't think I am strong enough to handle this. I don't think I would feel safe because of selfish reasons. It's not saying that they are racist. No, that does not make them racist, right? For them to be like, I can't trade positions because I think it's all we want is for you to acknowledge that you have a bit of privilege and other people do not have that. And I think that's all Black people be requesting. But rather what they get is people dismiss these realities. That's why you hear people throwing in statements like, I am not racist, I am married to this person, or, I don't see color, right? And the thing is, yes, you do not see color. Why? Because you do not have the color. Therefore, the things that happen to the people of color does not happen to you. So how would you even see color when you don't even admit that they go through these experiences? Because this is the first step for us to have a health conversation. Admit that yes, as much as you don't look like them, but then you are at a place of an advantage more than they are. And I think that's what this comment section was actually serving. Lots of people were saying for selfish reasons, because I don't want to lose my privileges. That's another step to admitting that yes, y'all are not at the same equal footing. As long as they say that everyone is free and everyone has rights and stuff like that, no. Color definitely divides you into two. It has a group of people that as much as you may not even be rich, you might be a nobody, but the fact that by default you have this color, people will look at you first instead of looking at this person first. And things are very clear here. We see African Americans, instead of calling them Americans, we don't have, European Americans, but they came from Europe to come to America. We have Native Americans. Why? They are the real Americans. You understand? So because of your color by default, people are going to consider you first, and you've always been considered first. So people are admitting that they have a bit of privilege that they are afraid to lose. But also other people are saying, I don't think I am strong enough to handle this. Now, and other people are saying, maybe if we would switch for one day, do you think that one day would be enough for you to experience all the generational traumas that have been passed to these people, including the systems that are still in place to oppress? Do you think one day would give you a full experience of how they have grown up and the things they have been through, the racism at school, the discrimination, being stopped on the road? Do you think you're going to experience that? Others are saying, you know what? It depends on the rules. Which rules? And the rules, I think I am going to assume, these are my assumptions, that maybe if being Black is going to put you at a place of an advantage, probably, let's say, athlete or people that play sports, because that's probably those are the only spaces where Black people get recognized. Or maybe if you are an African American billionaire and you have money, and therefore people have to respect you simply because you do have the money. So if you would play by those rules and you have the money, right, and you don't have to be tortured, you don't have to be stopped, you don't have to experience all these systemic microaggressions, then yes, you would play, you would switch. But if it was all the bad things that happen to Black people, then you would not switch. I feel like a lot of people want to identify with us for convenience, for benefits. And a lot of other people also want to marry us because of the benefits. You realize that also lots of other palm-colored people that are married to maybe Black people is because these people are somewhere in life. So they want to get the benefits that these people have. And I'm not saying that everyone does that, but I think we've also seen lots of people that do it for the benefits. For a billionaire that is Black, because I mean, he has generational wealth that I can tap from them. You understand? So if it benefits you the most, yes, you would like to identify with black people. You would want to say that I am not racist. You would want to say that I don't see color. But if you were put in a position where your privileges have to be stripped away from you, would you take their position? Absolutely not. That's why a lot of people didn't have one solid answer of saying, yes, I would. They were like, yes, but no. You understand? But also other people that were saying, fear. I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? You are afraid to live in a world where these people have to live in fear for each and every day of their lives. That's why I have a problem with people that pander to whiteness, especially if you are black. I do have a problem with that because these are first-hand experiences. In the comment section, people are like, no, I am afraid. I don't think I can live a life of driving and not sure if I will come back home. I am not sure if the police stopped me, I would make it out of there. I am afraid that if I am in that situation, I don't think I would take the aftermaths of this. Yes, we are all humans, but let's also admit that there are systems and castes that have been put in place to divide us. And I think we should put more effort in breaking those barriers instead of being dismissive. And again, that's why I said that I have an issue with people that pander to whiteness, because what they do is wanting to dismiss the experiences of black people, which is exactly what black people always keep talking about, that at least we don't want much. We are not asking for too much. We are not asking for free treatment, for, just privileges. And we just want you to admit that these things happen. That should be the first step to start these conversations. If you want us to break these barriers, yes. Now, probably the treatment that has happened to my people maybe has not happened to my people. But trust me, by default, when I hear that a person that looks like me has ever been treated like this, I lose it. It's by default. I don't need any reason. I don't need it to happen to me first for me to feel it. No. I switch immediately because I'm like, why would you do that to my people? These answers are already admitting that there's a problem that needs to be fixed. And who can better fix this problem than them palm-colored people coming out and having these conversations with their own people? Because they are the ones that are upholding white supremacy. They are the ones that are still keeping it in place. And they know that as long as this caste is still in place, yes, people are never ever gonna be the same. What do you my people think? I want you to put your thoughts in the comment section. The question to my palm-colored people that are watching, and to people that are dismissive of this division and divide that is between the melanated people and palm-colored people. The question is, would you switch places? Would you take a place for a black person if it was a permanent switch? I know and I understand that that would mean losing your identity, and I wouldn't want you to lose that. But have you ever sat there and imagined that a lot of our melanated people also lost their identity? So considering all these factors, would you ever want to switch? Yes or no? What would be the grounds you would say yes, and what would be the grounds you would say no? And by the way, this, for you to say no does not mean that you are a racist. So I don't want you to feel judged already because, you are afraid of people thinking that you are racist simply because you stood your ground and you're like, no, I am not willing to lose, what I have. That does not make you racist. However, it makes you, clingy to the power that you have, but also to admitting that there is a divide. And I am wondering, are you willing to do something to, end this divide? Please subscribe to the channel if you have not signed up for my channel membership for more other packages. Yes, and I will definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you all. Bye.